All right, let's just jump right in. Go ahead, open up your banking app right now. I'll wait. I'm willing to bet there's a small chunk of money in there just sitting around. You know, the little bit that somehow survived the monthly onslaught of bills and life? So what's the number you're looking at? Maybe it's something like this, 500,000 rupiah. And you see that, and your brain does this little dance. It thinks, hey, I've got some extra ammunition. I should really put this to work. It's a great thought, really. But what happens 5 minutes later? Poof, it's gone. Not because you invested it, but because you finally hit checkout on that online shopping cart that's been staring at you for weeks. And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? That little bit of money could be your first weapon in a financial war. But our first impulse is to treat it like a toy, a little self-reward for something you probably won't even remember tomorrow. So what's really happening here? What's going on in our heads?
Let's just get real for a second. Your biggest financial enemy, it's not your salary, it's not the economy, it's a set of traps inside your own mind. Think of them like 9 financial viruses that have infected the way you think about money.
But here's the kicker. These viruses are not there by accident. They are practically designed and planted by a system that wants you to be predictable. You know, it's that outdated advice from your parents, maybe those lessons from school that say just save your money, or even your favorite motivational guru yelling about passive income without telling you how to start with a tiny amount. The whole point is to keep you in that nice, neat loop. Work, earn, spend, and then do it all over again. And if you think I'm being dramatic, just picture this. Fast forward 10 years. If you let these traps win, you won't just be a decade older. You'll be the person with a few more aches and pains who's gotten really, really good at complaining about why other people got ahead and you didn't. So before you spend another dime on a self-reward, let's cut open these 9 traps and see what makes them tick. First up, we've got the traps of inaction. These are the sneaky ones that make sure you never even get into the ring to throw your first punch. This one? This is the classic. It's the reason 99% of people never, ever start. You're just sitting there waiting for some massive pile of cash, like 100 million rupiah, to fall into your lap before you feel like you can start investing. It's this fantasy that growing money is all about the amount of money you begin with. But that is a huge mistake. Here's the truth. Growing money isn't about the amount, it's about the skill. It's a habit. The real game is learning how to turn your first 100,000 into 110,000, and then doing it again and again. The war starts right now, with whatever's in your pocket, not with the lottery win you're dreaming about. Okay, next up is the oldest excuse in the book. I'm just too busy. Think about it. You work 8, maybe 10 hours a day to earn the money, but you're too tired to spend 30 minutes managing it? That's exactly what the system wants, for you to be exhausted. So here's how you fight back. The 30-minute CEO technique. The day you get paid, block out 30 minutes. No excuses. For those 30 minutes, you're the CEO of your money. Grab a notebook, a spreadsheet, whatever, and you give every single rupiah a specific job. Stop being an employee of your money and start being its boss. All right, next, let's talk about the illusions of safety. These are the traps that dress up as responsible habits. They're the bits of conventional wisdom that feel so smart, but are secretly killing your financial future. You know, it's kind of funny when you really think about what we're afraid of. You're terrified of losing 50,000 rupees today on some small idea that might not work out. But you're not scared of the real risk. The actual risk is never learning the skill of how to grow money in the first place. By trying to protect that tiny amount today, you're literally sacrificing a skill that could be worth 50 million in the future. You're trading a priceless education for the security of pocket change. So I want you to reframe this right now. Stop saying, I lost 50,000. Start saying, I just paid $50,000 for a practical course. You can even give it a name, like Intro to Why My Product Doesn't Sell on TikTok 101. See, a loss isn't a failure. It's just the tuition you pay to get smarter for the next round. It's paid for data. And now for the big one, the most sacred and most misleading piece of advice ever. Saving is the key to wealth. It feels good, right? You open your app, you see the number, you feel safe. But what you're really doing is practicing zero velocity. Your money is asleep. And while it's snoozing, 2 things are happening. That little monster called inflation is quietly eating it alive, and your bank is taking your money, putting it to work, and having a party with the profits, all while giving you pennies. And that's the whole point right there. Growing money isn't just about how much you have. It's about velocity, how fast you can move it. 1 million rupiah that you turn over 10 times in a year, even if you only make a tiny profit each time, is going to become way more than 1 million rupiah that just sits there for a year getting chewed up by fees and inflation. Money isn't a house pet, it's a soldier. It belongs on the battlefield.
And that changes how you should see your salary. Most people treat their salary like a prize, a reward you're supposed to spend on celebrating and upgrading your life. That's a rookie mistake. Your salary is your monthly shipment of ammunition. It's fresh capital. The system gives it to you every 30 days. Your job is to grab a piece of that new ammo and immediately send it into your money-growing machine. Okay, now we get to the really destructive traps. These aren't about sitting still or playing it safe. These are the habits where you are actively and consciously working against your own best interests.
This one's a chronic condition, being allergic to looking poor. You make a tiny profit, a little seed of money. A grower? They'd plant that seed to grow a bigger tree. But a wealth distributor? You eat the seed. You buy the new shoes, you go to the fancy cafe, all so you can look successful. But let's be blunt. You're not making yourself rich. You are distributing your wealth directly into the pockets of brand owners and the influencers they pay. You're just a delivery service for your own money, sending it in the wrong direction.
And that brings us to the jackpot syndrome. You don't actually want to grow money. You want a lottery ticket. You're hunting for that one magical idea that will turn 1 million into 100 million overnight. Let's get real. That's not business. That's a daydream. The ancient wisdom for merchants is so simple. Take small profits, turn them over fast, and win the game through sheer volume and speed. It's not about how much you make on one shot. It's about how quickly your money comes back so you can fire it again. Okay, so we've finally arrived at the last and maybe the most sneaky trap of them all. This is the one that can make everything we've just talked about completely useless. You heard me right. The 9th trap is this explainer you're watching right now. Here's how this poison works. You watch this, you nod your head, you feel smart, you get that little hit of dopamine from learning something new, you feel productive. But in reality, you've just turned an instruction manual into entertainment. You're a spectator sitting in the stands eating popcorn while your money is still asleep in the bank. Absolutely nothing has changed.
So you've got a choice to make right here, right now. You can be the spectator, the person who feels smart consuming all this information but stays exactly where they are. Or you can be the warrior, the person who's willing to feel a little foolish, to maybe mess up, but who actually gets in the game and takes action.
And to help you be the warrior, I'm going to give you a simple weapon. It's called the 3-second rule. The next time you have a small idea to put your money to work, don't analyze it to death. Just count down 3, 2, 1, and then take one tiny physical step to make it real. Message one supplier. Open one blank spreadsheet. Just do something. Go from being an analyst to an executor. Let's end with this. You have to prove to yourself that you are not just a passive consumer. It is so much better to look a little foolish tonight, to try something and maybe fail with 100,000 rupiah, than it is to look smart and safe right now with all your theories, only to be financially dead in a decade. Action, even if it leads to failure, is the only way forward. So the choice is yours, and that choice starts tonight. Are you going to be the spectator who stays stuck in the information trap, or are you going to be the warrior who starts their first battle? Which one are you?